Hello everybody, my name is Byrnage and this is my review for Ikari Warriors on the NES. Ikari Warriors is somewhat of a Rambo clone, except all the enemies feel like Rambo and it feels like you're just some dickhead. Another arcade game ported over to the NES, so you know it's brutally difficult. This one I feel took it a step further. It made it even more stupidly hard than it was in the arcade. It's not just about quarters anymore, it's about putting you in your place. I try not to talk trash on games too hard because I know somewhere some kid had this growing up and they played it all the time and they loved it. But this might just be the worst game on the NES. And not just due to being unplayable, this one is mostly playable. It functions as a game, albeit very clunky. The main reason this game is the worst is just because how stupidly hard it is. I doubt there are many people who have made it past the first level without cheat codes or save states, not to mention beat the whole game. Enemies are faster than you, and if they touch you, you die. And there are some enemies that just run you down. And it just feels like I can never get an angle to shoot them. If they get too close, you're just dead, mostly because you can't just flip a 180 in this game. The enemies can. But you have to do this weird rotating clockwork crap to turn around, and it's just so slow. You can also only shoot in 8 directions, so there's a lot of angles for enemies to come running through where you just can't defend yourself. So you have to adjust yourself like some kind of dumb snake that died and got reincarnated into a war hero. Stop, soldier! And enemies will just flood the screen constantly. There are no breaks. Your only saving grace is to get into a tank so you're immune to enemies literally throwing themselves at you. Once in a tank, you only have to watch out for missiles, landmines, and suicide bombers. So I guess you're not immune to enemies literally throwing themselves at you. If your tank gets blown up, the game is nice enough to give you time to get out before it explodes. That is, only if it works. I don't understand what the timing is on getting out of the tank. You have to press A and then B, and it felt like a 50-50 shot that I would either get out of the tank or I would just sit there and wait for death. Which I get it. Being outside of the tank sucks. I would rather be dead too. Sadly, the further you get, the less often you can be in a tank and the more stupidly impossible the game becomes. The only way you're going to stand a chance in this one is with power-ups. Red soldiers drop power-ups that increase range, give your bullets penetration, or increase your player's speed. The green soldier drops a power-up that blows up all enemies on the screen. And there are even many other hidden power-ups that you can uncover by shooting very specific spots in the game. Although I don't think there are any on level 1, so this is probably a part of the game most people don't know about. One power-up makes it so you can't die to enemies running into you. It's like a dream come true, but by that time there's so many bullets and missiles flying around the screen that it doesn't matter. There's a 3-way shot and a super speed power-up, which is really fun. Despite all this game's shortcomings, it's not all bad. The level design is kinda cool. The 3rd and 4th level are covered with these mountainous structures that you have to climb up, and they really slow you down until you get to the top. Also, the music is pretty solid, and the overall experience is aesthetically pleasing at least. If the game wasn't so stupidly difficult, it might have been a little fun, but as it is, I wholeheartedly recommend nobody ever play this game ever for any reason. It is the worst garbage I've ever put on myself. Like and subscribe if you hated this game as much as I did. Leave an angry comment if you liked it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.